Stephen Stearns has a trial that is happening. It's happening next week. Stephen Stearns is the first of two trials. The second one, he's facing a potential DPEN, but he's facing life for this. And it's a case involving all the images depicting all of his conduct involving Jenn Soto, beginning, I believe, at age 8. So this trial, I don't know how he's going to defend himself. We can talk about that. But another big issue in this case is Jenn Soto. Will she testify? Does the prosecution need her to testify? If she gets up on the stand, what will she say? What will the jury think of her? That is the subject of this video. I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Tangent Podcast. Along with me, below me, is Al Wunsch III.
Hola, Tangenistas.
And in the bottom right-hand side of your screen, ladies and gentlemen, is the radio legend himself, the one and only Jonesy.
Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey.
And this is the Tangent Podcast.
Vinny and the Tangents, True Crime Podcast. Vinny has the blue eyes, Al cracks the jokes. Jonesy stays behind his shades, entertaining all the folks. It's Vinny and the Tangents, True Crime Podcast. Load up all your comments, hit those super chats. Let's go smash that like button, so we can all have a blast. Vinny, Al, and Jonesy on the job. They're the Sugar Hill Gang of true crime. They're telling stories of days gone by. They take crime and turn into a good old time. It's Vinny and the Tangents, True Crime Podcast.
All right. It's early this week. No Friday show. No Friday show because, it's that time of year. I'll be away. So, yeah.
Do tell. Where are you going?
Well, I don't want to give away too many details of my travels, but it does involve.
You're the only guy. Wait a minute. You're the only guy I know that goes on vacation with a press release. So I don't know what you're talking about. Too many details are going out. I mean, I've seen these things being broadcast on TMZ is doing the whole thing on you.
Not only does it tell us where you're going, but it tells you the exact times that you'll be at different venues within the region.
Yes. Well, I'll be at the Jersey Shore.
I mean, granted, the itinerary is horribly misspelled, but other than that, it's, kind of easy to decipher.
All right. So Jenn Soto. Jenn Soto's the mother of the victim in the case, Jenn Soto. Jenn Soto is 13 years old when she was reported missing by her mother and her mother's boyfriend, Stephen Stearns. It was awkward from the beginning. Everyone got those vibes. But finally now the first trial is set to begin next week. And the significance here is that all the evidence that was obtained from his phone and from his Google Drive will be admissible. So the jury will likely, it's going to be a tough case for the jury. They're going to have to take a look at things that no one should ever have to look at, things that would be illegal for people to look at if they weren't in a jury box. So the question being, though, is will Jenn Soto testify? She hasn't been charged with anything. People have pointed the finger from the beginning. How could a mother do this, etc.? But as we get ready for trial one, Al, do you think she has to testify in this case? Let's start with first, has to testify. Like, does the prosecution need her in order to prove their case?
No, they don't need her in this case.
Why not?
They don't need her because the thing is, everything is on his phone and on his Google search. So, I mean, it's a little bit different if they had found photographs in the, in the house or something along those lines where it'd be a question as to who owned those. But they were found in a phone that he had tried to factory reset, and they were still able to get the images out of it. So in this case, it's pretty simple. you're not going to put her on. And the reason is
let me give you a twist here, Al. Can I give you a twist?
Okay.
Let's twist again.
Well, you know, that's interesting you should mention that, Vin, because on this day in 1960, that song was released by Chubby Checker.
You see?
The first time it was released, wasn't it released again like a year or two later and became
yes, the first time it was released was 1960. And it actually is also a remake too, by the way.
Yeah, it's Hank Ballard and the Midnighters.
Yeah. But how about, are you talking about the Let's Twist Again? Like we did last
summer.
Or I got a new dance and it goes like this and it goes by the name of the Peppermint Twist.
Well, the Peppermint Twist is by Joey D and the Starlighters,
which was an all-star. Hendrix even played with them briefly.
Of which Judge Dutch Shudo used to be the drummer of that band.
How about there's a brand new dance and it goes like this: twist,
bop, twist, bop. And the name of the dance is the Peppermint Twist, and that's by Joey D and the Starlighters.
So you speak, Vinny,
from Garfield, New Jersey, by the way.
Yes, you speak of Chubby Checker, Vinny. He had 2 hits with the twist. He had the twist, and then Let's Twist Again, like we did last summer. I prefer that one.
Yeah. So how does the first one go?
Come on, everybody. Well, I'm not a singer.
I thought it was dancing. It goes like this.
Come on, baby, let's do the twist.
Yeah, there we go.
Come on, baby, let's do the twist.
Okay.
So in sixth grade music class, I was a fat kid
like this,
and I got in front of the class and I twist like Chubby Checker to that song, and the other kids told me I made a fool of myself.
No, never, Jonesy. Well,
you like my glasses?
Yes. So here's the twist. What if his face never appears in any of the videos and only his nether regions, which have a very specific mark on them?
Okay.
A specific mark that his girlfriend might recognize.
Shades of Michael Jackson.
That is shades of the Michael Jackson question.
And the movie Porky's.
And the movie Porky's. But that's not going to matter anyway, because they already have photographs of his genitalia and other things that they had gotten pursuant to a warrant. And so they can easily have someone go comparing the two. They don't need her. You know, putting her on the stand.
So you wouldn't have a photo array?
Yeah, well, yes.
Like a lineup? Like a
right.
Photo lineup?
That's right. And, you know, just kind of
in the middle.
And then you go, I'm not sure. And then the judge goes, well, don't be a dick like that.
You gentlemen have hit upon something that's even lower than my thought process. I have never thought about a lineup of penises.
Oh, yes. Well, it's an identity. You always have that moment in the courtroom where you have you seen that person before? Yes, I see him right there. Well, in these images, in these videos, I believe that we don't see his face in all of them, if any of them, but we do see a close enough shot of his stuff that apparently has a very specific marking on it.
But the bottom line is that he still has the possession of it, and they're not. You can't put her on the stand. Jenn Soto would be a disaster in this trial. An absolute disaster, and it'll confuse the issues, and it'll confuse the jury.
How about to identify her daughter?
No, wouldn't be necessary to do that either.
How about to identify where the pictures are taken? Like in
because
home?
once again, you can go in and
time. Okay, so for the essay case, she's not necessary, is what you're saying.
That's correct. She's necessary for the next trial, and I wouldn't want to put her in a position where they're going to use her or abuse her on the stand and then be able to use that at the next trial. So the bottom line is you're going to preserve her. You're not going to use her for this, and it's still going to be a slam dunk. You don't need to have.
You know how I feel about that term. Slam dunks are not easy. There is no one on this show right now that can slam dunk, so it's not easy.
Well,
okay.
I can't even
on a 7-foot hoop. I can.
Right. But a slam dunk is not an easy shot. Like,
it's not an easy shot, but the bottom line is that in a situation like this,
easy, an uncontested layup.
But there's too much evidence in this case against him. There's not going to be any. It's ridiculous that they're even going to trial, but they are. So
Ann Williams, hello, buddies. How are you, Albert?
oh, I'm
How
fine.
are you,
thank
Albert? Ann wants to know. Thank you, Ann.
And I'm fine, thank you.
Not to be confused with Ann B. Williams. She had to use the B because she didn't want to be confused with Ann Williams.
Who?
Who's
Isn't
Ann?
that the name of the maid? And
Ann B. Davis.
oh, Ann B. Davis
from the Brady Bunch. That was Ann B. Davis. Because was there another Ann Davis?
I
imagine so. In most cases, when someone takes on an initial or spells their name differently, it's because there's somebody else in the union with that name.
But the bottom line is that putting her on the stand is an absolute waste of time in this case. They're not going to need it. They have all the photo array evidence they're going to need. They're going to have all the evidence of the household that they're going to need. They don't have to identify. You don't even have to necessarily identify the child by name, just by age. Okay, and they can introduce the birth certificate. So I mean, there's not anything here that's going to require her to get on the stand. And as I said, I wouldn't want to put her up there and have her get subject to cross-examination or things along those lines. And needless to say, the jury is not going to like her regardless. Okay, because I mean, this is one of those cases where you just look around and they start asking questions. Well, don't you let him sleep with her? And didn't they share a bed together? And you were certainly aware of that, and all those things along the lines.
Right.
It's going to absolutely positively turn off the jury.
I
Not that I don't think it's going to get him convicted, but it's certainly not going to help to have her credibility completely destroyed even more than it is now before they go up to the main, trial, which is the red room.
Yep. Donna Malone. Yes, they took pictures of his junk.
Yes.
I never liked that expression, junk.
The
Oh, I
junk.
thought you meant pictures.
I wonder what kind of lens they had to use. Ashley Bouchard, come on, Vinny. We know you can slam dunk. The closest I got was in high school with a tennis ball, and that was it. Never with a basketball.
Tennis ball.
Yeah, something because the other part of slam dunking that makes it
It's
so
palming
hard
it. It's being able to palm the ball.
Right.
Unless you're going to do a two-hand, but then you got to be.
Then you got to jump even higher.
Yeah, you got to jump even higher. You're right.
Yeah, it's not. So please, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like there's some talk about Stephen Stern's topless photo.
Oh,
Saying, don't remind Vinny. Well, you just did remind me. Just give me a moment. Why don't you guys talk among yourselves? See if I can find.
So the bottom line is that putting her on the stand is going to distract and is not going to help the case. They don't need any help on this case. And just putting that picture of him up there shirtless, which is one of the most frightening pictures I've ever seen in my life. And it absolutely just multiplies 200,000% how horrible that poor little girl's life was, having to deal with this piece of scum. It breaks my heart even more seeing this. It's just
if I saw this photo and I didn't know anything about its background and asked what I thought it was, I think I would probably say I think it's some sort of like alleged criminal.
Yeah, this is the money shot right here.
That picture's even worse. That picture is just even worse. Okay, that's like the agony with no ecstasy.
And what's that? A sheet around his
It's a shirt, isn't it?
It might be a shirt or a towel. It was just before he had to take, I guess, the pictures of his nether
regions.
The nether regions. But yeah, this is the one. That's like the what is that? The sack of potatoes. What is that? What do we call this one?
Oh, I call it barf.
Well, folks, you did remind me, so I'm allowing you to enjoy this right now.
Yeah, thanks, folks. Let's start mentioning his blue eyes now, folks, so we can be reminded of that.
You realize you just pulled the trigger on that, Al.
But because I had to bring that up, that the fact is that they reminded him of this, and so you know what the next thing is going to be. So I'm just moving ahead.
What's a
For those of you
self-fulfilling
touring at home,
prophecy?
Diamond Girl says that is the onesie they put on him when they took his clothes. Yeah, because you had to
Onesie.
examine the clothes for evidence, right? So
Yeah.
What's a onesie?
it's a onesie. It's as Fisher Blue saying his paper jumpsuit that they gave him to wear. Thank you, Fisher Blue.
nice.
So it's like sometimes if you go to the doctor, you get like that little paper thing you have to wear. You get an MRI or something.
That you have to tie in the back.
Yeah. Yeah. Once I put it on backwards accidentally.
You go to the doctors?
Yeah.
What's it like?
Here, Jane's trying to get everything started today. Anyone for egg salad?
Oh, I could go for some tuna salad.
Yeah, we're gonna get on that conversation again.
Do
Do we have the
you
poll
want
still
the
up there?
results of that?
No, because it hasn't been upgraded. It hasn't been updated.
Once you hit like 400 people, the numbers really don't change a lot. It's interesting. Like, so now I believe TV ratings, because you don't need to count everyone, because once you have a decent random sampling, it pretty much stays. Let's see. I'll check one more time. I'll see if we have any. No, it has not changed. It just doesn't change. I'll remind you though, of course, because I was the winner, so I do get the spoils.
Were you really?
Yeah, absolutely. It was.
You call that winning?
I do.
A tuna salad sandwich.
Of course he does. He stacks the deck and still wins. Okay.
How do I stack the deck?
It's
I
like
put my choice last.
It's like that great line in The Sting when they go, "Yeah, how does your boss play so well at cards? He cheats." Okay, that's the line. It's right there.
There's no cheating involved here. This is merely the result of a very scientific poll.
Well, I'm a victim of circumstance. No.
All right, where is it? I'll find it. Here. Poll.
All right, we don't need to see the poll again.
Yeah, we do. It's 57% chicken salad. That's it. And tuna almost caught the egg. The tuna almost caught the egg. 57, 23. I mean, combined. There's not even. We don't even need a runoff. We don't even need a runoff because I got a majority of the chickens. And thank you to all those who voted for chicken salad. I appreciate all the hard work you put in during the campaign.
How can so many people prefer chicken salad over tuna salad?
It makes absolute no sense whatsoever. The poll is skewed. Yeah, fake facts. I'll jump on the old MAGA line.
What did they do with tuna to try to sell more of it, Jonesy? What do they call it? Chicken of the sea.
Chicken of the sea, correct.
I rest my case.
Yeah.
I rest my case.
Sorry, Charlie.
That's what they called my uncle, Admiral Tuna Wunsch, chicken of the sea.
Yeah. Let's see. Everyone's now talking about lunch again. Oh no. Nikki Marie is having kidney bean salad.
Oh my.
Yeah. Okay. Strikeout number 2.
I probably wouldn't hate kidney beans if they didn't have the word kidney in them.
Yeah. Well, that's because they're shaped like a kidney. They don't taste like a kidney.
I know, but I just can't get over that.
Yeah, not a fan.
Yeah, indeed. So getting back to Jenn Soto. So what I want to play, I'm going to put it up here. I'm going to play for you because, again, once you start talking about Jenn Soto, everyone talks about, did she know, did she not know, right? So I'm going to play for you what I believe is the most incriminating statement that she has made in all of this. Let me just remove this and let me get this because, she's given long statements. There were some things she said didn't make sense, but to the most potentially incriminating statement by her of her knowledge of what was happening to her daughter, I believe, is in this statement. One second. Here we go. It's the statement I call Woody Allen fear.
Told him that my biggest fear is that this would turn into a Woody Allen situation where the stepdaughter or the dad grooms the child and the child turns 18 and ends up running away with him. I told him like that was my biggest fear and I don't ever want that happening. Like, you can't do that to me. Like,
why would you say that to him?
Okay.
You can't do that to me.
To me, right?
Right.
It had nothing to do with Madeline. The fact that your child is being groomed by a man. I would not let you do that to me. A Woody Allen situation.
She's just absolutely detestable. Absolutely detestable.
What did you think of the crying at the end of the statement there?
Yeah, what I think of the crying is it's woe is me. That's what it is. It's her tears for herself because now she's got no one else in her life because he's going down the river and up the river and
river.
You know, I mean, it's disgusting, and they didn't charge this one. It's just, and what they gave her, what, derivative use immunity? I mean, it's like, it's so horrendous that she is not being charged. It just blows my mind. Blows my mind.
Well, to me, that was the most telling of all the statements that have been made.
Well, that and the fact that she knew they were sleeping in a bed together. I mean, like that.
She told them to do it.
Exactly.
I mean, so like
that, anything any more than that.
Right.
Oh, God, and then you're going to put her on the stand? I mean, believe me, the jury's going to go, can we convict her too?
Well, that's the fear. Well, the fear is that they don't say, will we convict her too, or we should be going after her and not him for some reason.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen.
That'll happen, but I think that's always the fear, because the defense will obviously attempt to divert attention away from the defendant, and that's what they do. But I don't know. Like that, like where does that statement even come from?
That is her.
How do you even get that in your mind? First of all, I didn't believe that Jenn Soto had that level of awareness of the world to be cognizant of Woody Allen and Soon Yi, right? Like, did you?
Yeah, that's a good point.
That shocks me that she would even know about Woody Allen and Soon Yi.
That only shocks me because she seems kind of young in that regard. I think, anybody who was of a certain age remembers that news story.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it dominated the tabloids when it was happening, but it was years ago. It was years and years ago. I don't know what year it was, but she had to be young when that happened. I mean, was it 25 years ago?
It's got to be at least that. I mean, it
sounds like a 90s thing, right? Let me see. I'll look it up.
I say like 1989 for some reason. That's just a number that popped into my head, but sometimes that works.
Let's see. Oh,
I know they got married in 97, if I'm not mistaken, right? Didn't they, or something like that?
Here we go. In January of 1992, this is according to Reddit, Mia Farrow found nude photographs of Soon Yi in Woody Allen's home.
Right. Okay. And he was 56 and she was, I think, 21 or something.
I forgot about the photographs. So if she knew about the photographs, I mean, that makes it even more incriminating. Like the analogy of Woody and Stephen Stearns.
Maybe she looked it up because of the situation that was going on.
But how would she know to look up Woody Allen?
Yeah, right? that's not, I mean,
92 is I mean, how old is she? Is she 40? Jenn Soto, is she 40? She's probably 40, right?
I'd say she's probably in her 30s. I'm not even sure she's 40.
I think she is, because her daughter was 13.
13, so I mean, she could have had the kid when she was 15.
All right. Let me see. I'm trying to find her age. I'm sure our chat room has the age already. Let me check in the chat room. Does anyone know Jenn Soto's age? She's close to 40. She's in her 30s.
Okay.
Everyone's saying close to 40. So, like, if that controversy goes back to the 90s, it's at least 25, almost 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, she's a child. So she must have heard of it. Was it part of Me Too? Did it sort of resurface during Me Too?
Not really.
The Allen situation.
I don't recall it resurfacing. No,
I don't recall that coming out at that point. Again,
in fact, it's one of those Hollywood things that somehow PR agents handle to the point where people don't give it much thought.
Yeah, it was big, and then it's just poof, it disappeared.
Well, it was big because of,
But he hasn't done anything. Like he doesn't make movies anymore. What does he do? He just
he's made movies. He continues to make movies.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Good ones?
Look, the problem is that I enjoy his early stuff. His early films were just hilarious. Bananas is probably one of the funniest movies. Take the Money and Run. Okay, Everything You Want to Know About Sex but Were Afraid to Ask.
Right.
Manhattan is an excellent movie. Okay, but Manhattan, he laid the seeds of what was going to eventually happen, because in that movie he was dating a very, very young woman. It was a young girl. Okay, in that. Annie Hall is an excellent movie. Those
are decades ago.
I know, but those are the movies I like from him. But but you know what? Whatchamacallit? The one where he played
Zelda.
No,
the Front was a very good movie. But that wasn't his movie.
That wasn't his movie. He was in it, but that wasn't his movie. Zero Mostel was in that movie too.
Yes.
That's still decades ago.
Yeah, that was in the 60s, actually.
Yes.
Is there anything in the last 15 years of note that would put him in the headlines?
I will tell you this, though. Broadway Danny Rose was an absolutely hilarious movie. Absolutely hilarious movie.
Shades of Joe Franklin.
Yeah. Walker says, I have a hunch Jenn and Yuckface were in a money-making scheme selling pictures online. And the reason I give some credence to this was a statement made in an interview of the parents. And I'll put a picture of the parents up here right now. His parents talked about Steph and Jenn coming into some money and buying lots of things. And like they didn't have jobs at the time. So they didn't know where the money was coming from. And that's from his parents saying that in an interview, that suddenly they came in.
So wouldn't that have surfaced, or is the dark web that concealed?
Oh, it's that dark. Yeah. Because he was on, what was it, Telegram? Was that the app he was on? He was on one of those apps that like terrorists use and people like that use. And obviously people engaging in this type of behavior use, and they get together in groups and share, or I guess could sell things or communicate with one another on how to engage in these transactions. And it's all encrypted.
Well, the majority is also file sharing. That's usually what you see in those types of cases. I rarely see.
All encrypted. It's all encrypted. You can't.
Right, but I rarely see purchasing. In cases I've handled, I rarely see that.
Where'd they get the money from? He wasn't selling topless pictures of himself. That's for sure.
Well, you don't know.
Oh, here we go. I think we got the answer here. MD 2020. There was a Netflix show. So maybe there was a Netflix documentary about Woody Allen. That would do it.
That's because what's his name's book came out. Ronan.
Right.
Yeah, his book had come out.
Mia Farrow's son, right?
Yes, that's right.
Sinatra's son.
Ronan Farrow.
Ronan Farrow's Frank Sinatra's son, right?
I did not know she had a son with Frank Sinatra.
Well, those are all the what do you call it? Rumors. Right. Because they say that he looks like him. If you look
Well,
at
if I were Frank Sinatra's son, I'd be damn sure to prove it and let the world know.
yeah, but so here I'll get a.
We worked with Humphrey Bogart's son.
Ronan Farrow's actually Woody Allen's son.
No,
Yes.
no way.
I'm
Really?
looking here. Satchel Ronan O'Sullivan Farrow is an American journalist, the son of actress Mia Farrow and filmmaker Woody Allen.
No, I'm not buying that.
Okay.
It's Sinatra. That's the scandal, right? That it was Sinatra.
But Woody Allen came so much later in her life, no? Sinatra was like back in the 60s.
No, this kid's young. Not young, but younger. He wouldn't have been.
Right.
he's
Well,
younger
that's what
than
I'm
we
saying.
are.
Her relationship with Sinatra was back around the time Rosemary's Baby was made.
Well, I think that might be part of the scandal involved with this.
Uh-huh.
Let me see. I'm trying to find the picture. I have the picture. Once you see the picture, you'll be like, "Oh, okay, I get it. I get it."
Mia Farrow brought up that Ronan could possibly be the biological son of Frank Sinatra. But anything is possible.
Well, what does Rona Barrett say?
So, what do you think? Do they look alike or what?
No,
You don't think so?
I don't see it.
Oh my! The mouth, the nose, the
Well,
eyes.
he doesn't certainly look like Woody Allen, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's not Woody Allen. I don't know.
How old is he?
He's a good journalist. He did some nice work. I mean, he is the one that got the whole Me Too happening with his reporting.
Well, there's your connection to the Woody Allen scandal right there.
Yep. So yeah, so if there was a Netflix show, then she would find out about it then, and then have some understanding of the allegations. Elise, we don't want to see these pictures on screen, man.
Now, like I said, will she testify in this trial? There's no need to put her up there. I wouldn't put her up there. It's going to distract the jury, and it's not going to serve any legitimate purpose. They've got enough evidence on him that once that gets in, he's a goner.
So under the Mystic Moon 1111, Jenn Soto can't just walk away from this. At the very least, she should get charged with neglect. She knew everything. The Woody statement says it all, in my opinion. I think what would happen if you got it past the judge and in front of the jury would convict her. I think the challenge is going to be getting it past the judge to satisfy all the elements of whatever you're going to charge her with. And again, it's not an easy case, but I think you need her for the second trial because you need her for timeline.
Yes, exactly.
And some of the statements that he made because she saw him that morning. I mean, all that stuff. I think they absolutely need her for. For this, it's the phone. It's tying the phone to him. Then it's authenticating the images that are found on the phone. And then you've got to identify the subjects in the images and in the videos.
But the possession in and of itself is going to get him convicted anyway, and it's going to go away.
How do you identify Madeline?
You can identify her from the a family member, okay, a neighbor. I mean, you don't need her to identify
the grandma, or you put the aunt on the.
Exactly. Family member would be fine, and a birth certificate so you can prove the age.
You've got to prove you want to prove the age, so you've got the birth certificate. Yeah.
That would be a horrendous thing for grandma to have to identify, but I mean, nonetheless, that's how you do it. You can't put Jenn on the stand.
Yeah,
because that's going to be a disaster.
Well, the other logistics of this trial is going to be all the evidence cannot be shared publicly. You can't. You can't make copies of it.
No, you can't.
You're not going to be able to send it into I don't even think you could send it into the jury room. The images, they've got to figure out a way for the jury to see.
I think the jury can get it. I think the jury can get it in the jury room. Anything that's marked evidence has to be available to the jury to take a look at.
But they make so many rules when it comes to the images of children.
I know, but you got to see what you have to sign as an attorney who's represented individuals and accused of this. The number of documents you have to sign in order to have that stuff sent to you.
Will they allow him to see them because of the
well,
right?
You know, it's interesting. It's interesting you should mention that he has the right to see them. Okay, he does not have the right to possess them. So you can't leave them with him or anything along those lines. So you can let him see it, and then you have to take it away. He can't hold that evidence in his cell, like he can hold reports and things along those lines. But he is permitted to see it because.
How do you logistically, like, to me, like the rights, but the logistics of publishing this stuff in such a way that only the people permitted to see it can see it? That to me becomes the logistical challenge in a courtroom. Because you can't usually you have images, you put them up on a big screen. Oh, there it is. Or, you let the jury pass it around, but you've got to do it in a way where no one else who cannot be permitted to see this evidence sees this evidence. This is different than any other trial.
It happens all the time. And the evidence can get published you can hand them the photographs. Okay. And then have them numbered accordingly or whatever. All this stuff is pre-marked anyway. So you can do it that way.
Can they print it out? Can they actually print these images? Because that's like making a copy.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, it's the only way it's going to get in as evidence.
This is tricky.
I mean, it's not pleasant, and it is probably it's so horrendous. But unfortunately, you have a right to confront the accuser and have your right to confront the evidence that's being set forth against you. And, if your argument is going to be, that's not me, okay, then you gotta fight.
Right.
But I mean, these cases.
But he's not going to testify. Like, he's not going to testify. What are they? They're just going to say, oh, they didn't prove that it was him. They're not. He's not going to physically say it's not me. That's not happening.
Well, we don't know.
I mean, he might testify.
But here's the thing, Vin. Look, the guy's got nothing to lose. Okay. See, when you've got a defendant who's got nothing to lose, they do stupid things. They do things that are out of the ordinary. Because what's he got to lose? He gets up there and goes, guess what? That's all AI. Or, I mean, I know that this predates AI in some respects, but nonetheless, you can say these were Photoshopped. This isn't me. I'm being set up. This is being done by Soto and her family and blah, 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 blah. I mean, this guy is so, the fact that we're this far and we're starting a trial next week tells me that this guy is beyond bizarre. Because ordinarily you'd be working this out. Very, very rarely do these cases go to trial. Very rarely.
Right. Like, because there's no defense. Like, there is no defense. The images are what they are. Like, the defense is that I didn't have possession of them. So, but like, it's his phone.
That's the only defense you have is that, look, they were in the house, but I didn't know. Okay, when it's on your phone and it's on your computer, okay, and they have all the other stuff.
Your Google Drive. It's your Google Drive. You have to prove that you've been hacked over the course of, and remember, this is over the course of years. And you can't even make an AI argument because these images are created before AI.
Right. But Photoshopping has been around for a long time.
Photoshopping's
been around since the 50s.
But there's also videos. It's not just still images. There's videos also with audio.
Right. Like I said, this is the bizarre thing about this. And that's why I'm not sure, anything can happen in this trial. And you said he's not going to take the stand. I've never gotten someone up to this point, okay, where the evidence seems to be so overwhelming and he's going, oh, let me take my chance.
I think there's still a chance that he just pleads guilty. Rather than face the,
we discussed.
remember how many times he's avoided being in the courtroom when this first happened? He didn't want to be in the courtroom. He didn't want, and this is a public trial. He knows that this is a public trial. He knows this is Florida. He knows what the law is in Florida. The sun is shining in Florida. The public has a right to see everything happening in a public trial, except obviously these images, but they have a right to see him and hear the evidence against him. And maybe he doesn't want that to be made public to somehow save face. I think that and those images will be relevant though at his next trial, because they'll be an aggravating factor during the penalty phase if he's convicted. If he's convicted in the Red Rum case, then this case that's why this one's first, because you want to get the conviction on this and use it as an aggravating factor when you're going for the D-pen in the next trial.
And that's why I think that there's going to be a plea workout on this. That is going to be a global settlement.
You mean encompassing both cases?
I don't know the prosecutor down there. I don't know what this prosecutor's made of. This is another case where we are talking about the worst of the worst. Someone who has groomed and abused someone over the course of years, the most vulnerable of all victims in a case. And then you talk about all the conduct. And this wasn't like a one-time thing. Like he started when they can prove, according to prosecutors, that he started when she was 8 years old, and the conduct continued for years.
I need to take a 2-minute break, if you don't mind. I have a judge on another line.
We'll just pretend we're not here. We'll listen in. Could you imagine? The judge is calling. Dun dun dun. I'm wondering. Let's see. Tracy with Tracy Todd Hunter. That poor girl, may Madeline rest peacefully. Yes, I believe he will do and plead before. I think there's a chance. I think the difference, though, Tracy and Jonesy, I think the difference between this and the Idaho 4 guy, whose name I don't like to say, is that I don't think he'll be offered a deal. I think.
Well, we were shocked that the Idaho guy got a deal.
Yeah, and it's a decision that's made solely by the state attorney for the 9th Judicial District. So we'll see. And I believe the woman who is and I don't know the status of the state's attorney, because I know there was an issue, a conflict, and the attorney may have been replaced by the governor, and I don't know if that is still in effect or if they had another election. We'll see. Nitty gritty here. 7 of 22 trial charges are essay. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's the amazing thing. So the actual possession of the images is a crime, but then what the images show are further crimes as well.
Well, because he's participating in it. Yes.
Yeah. Why do you think he kept all this stuff?
Because they do. I mean, this is they build libraries. They build libraries that they can trade, that they can use. It's a form of currency,
and it's a compulsion also.
So are you saying for personal use and gratification rather than for commercial sale?
Well, no, it's like I said. I mean, it is used to trade with other scumbags.
Alleged scumbags.
If you're dealing in this stuff, you're a scumbag. I don't care what. There's no allegedness in this, and that's how it works.
Yeah.
So they build libraries and then they trade. And that's,
the 722 wasn't 7 out of 22 charges. Was the date? Yeah, next week. Next week. Tuesday it starts.
Oh, 722 is that? Okay.
Yeah, and the second trial is in September. Jury selection second trial should take a little bit longer than for the first trial, because the second trial is a D-Pen case. Yeah, and this is a great point by Exotic Prairie 35. What's going on in that picture? That hat? Is that what you call a 10-gallon hat? Because that's like a huge hat. Right? Is that a 10-gallon?
You're just glad to see me.
He was stupid enough to think the factory reset worked. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think the other part is after the factory reset, then your Google Drive repopulates. And whatever's saved to the cloud, however that works. Like I am just of the mindset that whatever you do is recorded somewhere forever. And whatever images you have on your phone, pictures, somehow, some way can be collected and are saved somewhere. It's impossible unless you'd have to somehow eliminate your cloud. You'd have to go cloudless, and you'd have to eliminate your device as well.
Well, I don't use the cloud. Do the clouds like take information based on Google's agreements, even if you don't participate?
Well, I think automatically, like stuff like if you have an iPhone, stuff is backed up on a cloud.
iPhone?
What, you got a flip phone, Jonesy?
Android, baby.
Android. Okay. I don't know. You have an Android too?
Yep.
I don't know why you guys have Android.
I'm not an Apple fan. I have one Mac computer that I use for DJing purposes.
I'm sorry, Vin. I dare to be different, okay? I'm not a conformist that needs to have an iPhone just because everybody else has one. All right? I'm an individualist, damn it.
It's just easier to communicate like with people because of there's so many of them. You know, there's certain, and I think that's why sometimes some of the text messages we send each other get messed up because you guys are androids.
Oh yeah, it's our fault, right?
The only person that seems to get messed up is
me. Yeah, and
Vinny, you and I, we've never had a problem on that.
Yeah.
Yes, and I know exactly what happened on that. I had some problems receiving messages from the boys, as I call them, in the past month or so. But basically, like I know what was wrong with it. I don't want to get into it right now. Let's just say Albert represented me in that case.
Oh, okay. All in tanks, Android, everything goes on Google's version of the cloud.
Okay.
So instead of the iCloud, or I guess it's an iCloud, then you have the Google Cloud. So, and that's where his was probably because it was a Google Drive.
I mean, the Google thing, it just like takes control. Like recently I got a new phone and the guy who was setting it up for me asked me my Gmail password. And I thought he set up my Gmail. Next thing I know, my new phone, does everything through Google.
So now we've got the big battle between Apple and Android. I don't want to get into that battle.
Yeah, no, let's not get into that. But I will tell you that I do like my Android. I have the Samsung phone. It's phenomenal. I'm going to be getting the new one. That's even bigger than the one I bought.
Does your phone take pictures too? Because my
Takes
phone
pictures. That's my screen. Okay, nice size.
I've seen you with that before when we've hung out.
That's a little
together.
large, Al. That's kind of big.
How do you carry that? Like it doesn't fit in your coat, your suit.
Does it come with wheels and a little
it fits handle? It fits in my suit. It fits in my back pocket. Okay, and it fits in my hand.
Well,
okay?
the one I saw may have been different. Like the one you brought to Shea Stadium a couple.
No, that's the one he has when he opens it, double screen, right? Let's see it.
Yeah. And then open it up, and then
He's got a double wide.
Oh, I see.
And then I can open it. Also go this way.
Oh, that's very.
When I first moved to the Jersey Shore, I wanted to live in a trailer park. That's why I moved to the Jersey Shore. I thought I'd keep my East 3rd Street apartment in New York City, and instead of paying summer rentals, I'd have this like trailer. But it got washed. The developers of the complex exercised first option, and I ended up moving to a condo in Asbury Park as a result of it. But I was
starring in Accountant 3.
I was fascinated by trailer parks at that point. Once I looked at this one place, I mean, they get a bad rap, obviously.
Yes.
but nonetheless, like this one was on like the Raritan Bay, the Atlantic Ocean, and like in the river. It was like, this was great. Of course, it got washed away in the hurricane.
Okay, Gringo wants to ask a question regarding the honor killing case. I'll pop it up there. If I see it, I'll pop it on the screen. But
What was that?
The honor killing case. That's what we're covering.
The one that we covered yesterday.
Yeah, we covered that last night. That's a tough one.
That's a horrendous one. I basically sprouted my piece on that one yesterday. What a disaster.
Yep.
Horrible.
Gen X reminding folks that where you can connect with Jonesy, glennjones.net. glennjones.net. Of course, Gen X, part of our world famous Mod Squad.
Order in the chat. Order in the chat. Don't dare attack. We've got order in this chat. The Mod Squad is on the job, helping us to keep it clean. The Mod Squad is on the job, always so nice and never mean.
And a big thanks to Gen X, Frankie Figs, Jennifer Sube on YouTube, and Anthony Bouchard on the Facebook.
The best mods in history.
In the history of modding.
That's right.
Of all the mods. Gringa, why is
better than the jam?
Why is the mention of an honor killing prejudicial? Well, it's prejudicial to the defendant.
Right.
And it was prohibited. It was more prejudicial than probative, according to the judge. So none of that is coming in. I believe the defense is denying that is an actual fact.
Right. They're disputing that it's an honor situation. So, it's not going to get in that way, of course.
Yeah, but if you have the victim testifying that it was something that was said or a reason, it should come in. But the defense won that issue. They won that argument before the trial. That's a judgment call by a judge, right? It's a judgment call by the judge. Could go either way, depending upon how the judge balances prejudicial versus probative value.
They're not going to need it. They're not going to need it. They're not going to need it. The picture tells 1,000 words, and they've got if it, like the song "Bread." If a picture paints 1,000 words, why can't I paint you? Okay. In this case, that video is going to sink him and her. There's no way they're going to get around that. No way whatsoever.
Michelle L is on Team Android.
Oh, good. Hey, Michelle. Yo.
So are all Androids made by Samsung?
No.
But the strange thing is, like, when you have an Android, all the Apple people the Mac people just love to make fun of you and tell you, like, you need to upgrade, you need to get a Mac. It's like a cult.
No, to me, it's just convenient. The price is good. We got a deal.
The price is good.
Yeah, we got a deal. Like, you got to shop for the deals. And
you got a guy, Vin. You got a guy, right? You got a guy.
The customer service is wonderful when you go to the what do they call it, the iBar or whatever.
Oh my God, what a nightmare that is! That's a cult in and of itself. Going into that.
Who fixes your Android if you got a problem, or
the Android man? He comes up and down the street ringing a bell.
He gets a new one.
The Android man wheels a cart. And he comes up and down the streets of local towns ringing a bell. You bring out your Android. He fixes it and brings it back next week.
All right. I think he used to work in an Android store. No, I'm only kidding.
Well, Vin, history has told us that what?
Civil war to civil rights and all the revolution fights. World War I and World War II. Well, always knows who is who. It's this day in history. This day in history. History. Now let's listen to his story.
July 15th, 1779. Our Rev War history point today is the Battle of Stony Point, New York. An incredible escapade of American ingenuity, geared and led by Mad Anthony Wayne, General Mad Anthony Wayne, who orchestrated the first night attack in American history It was a bayonet attack that came up the mountains of the Palisades in Stony Point and overtook the British. It was a payback for a situation in Paoli, Pennsylvania, where Mad Anthony Wayne was surprised by the British forces, and there was what we called Paoli massacre. He lost a lot of men. He had a very bitter taste in his mouth, and this was his revenge. He inflicted a ton of casualties on the British at Stony Point, which is right off you can visit it, it's right off the Palisades State Parkway in Rockland County, New York, and orchestrated this bayonet attack that was unbelievable. It gave a lot of, a boost to the forces, and it helped France to really want to get involved in this war. So it was a big deal. July 15th, in true crime, 1997, the red rum of Gianni Versace. Okay.
Oh.
By Andrew Cunanan. Andrew Cunanan was a serial killer who was involved with five red rums, okay, from Minneapolis, Minnesota, all the way down to Florida. He, including a very sad story with regards to a groundskeeper that he red rummed in Pennsville, New Jersey, who was working at a national park, okay, which is called Finn's Point. And Finn's Point is a cemetery in New Jersey's, purview. It's part of the New Jersey state that contains a Confederate cemetery and contains a German Nazi cemetery, because it is a place where they buried the Confederates that died at Fort Delaware, which is located in Delaware, and the German POWs that died during captivity that were stationed at Fort Dix in New Jersey. So it is the northernmost Confederate cemetery that is a national landmark. And there is also, as I said, it's a German cemetery, predominantly by U-boat individual sailors that ended up dying in captivity. So it is a pretty interesting place. You can go there by ferry. You can do the tour and go to Fort Delaware and then go over to Finn's Point and see it. I really would suggest you go. It is unbelievable.
And when you visit, if you budget enough time so you can get one of those mustard pies that Al's always talking about.
Those are in Trenton, Vin. It's a little bit farther up. It's at least an hour going north and west of there.
Yeah, but if George Washington can make that trek, you can make the trek to get.
Washington was coming from Pennsylvania though when he did it, so it's a little bit easier. But Andrew Cunanan, who, as I said, ended up after red rumming 5 people, he took his own life. And about 7 or 8 days after the Versace red rum.
It was hiding out on a boat, right?
Now I'm sorry?
He was hiding out on a boat.
He was on a boat that was moored, and they found him in there after they heard a gunshot. July 15th in 1975, Apollo-Soyuz, which was the joint space mission where the Americans and the Soviets met in space. The key moment was the handshake in space of Tom Stafford, the Apollo commander, and the Soyuz commander, Alexei Leonov. I had the opportunity to have dinner with both of these men. It was a fascinating opportunity. That's why I bring this up. And Alexei Leonov was the first man to walk in space. Okay, the Soviets beat us with regards to walking in space, and the Soviets beat us by putting a woman in space. Valentina Tereshkova was in space in the 60s, believe it or not, and we didn't have a woman go in space until well into the 70s.
Well, who put the first monkey in space?
The United States.
Oh, see?
And then in 1988,
was that a smoking monkey or a regular monkey?
No, it was a regular monkey. And 1988, the movie Die Hard is released in the theaters.
I thought it was a Christmas movie.
It's not a Christmas movie. It came out in July of 1988, July 15th, 1988. If you ever talk to Bruce Willis, and now, of course, it'd be a little difficult because his medical condition, sadly, but he is also a New Jersey resident from Pennsville, by the way, New Jersey. He was always say it was not a Christmas movie. It was released in the summer of 1988. And I just want to bring a point up too that on Sunday celebrated the 40th anniversary of Live Aid, which was a tremendously incredible concert that I fortunately had the opportunity to go, although I did not have really, really good seats. I didn't have seats at all. I was in general admission. Tickets were $35, and the concert ran for like 12 hours. It was unbelievable. I didn't get a chance to go. I would have loved to have gone to London. I wish I had seen it there. I did not. I saw the United States version of it, and it was a truly incredible concert experience.
You know, it's one of those occasions where most everybody remembers exactly where they were. I was working at the recording studio House of Music at the time, which is, I guess, exit 15W. And we were all gathered around. There were music sessions going on. We were all gathered around the TV watching it on MTV.
Yeah. I did not see it. I was at the club dancing, probably a disco.
It was an all-day event.
It was it started at like 10 o'clock in the morning, for God's sake.
I was out. Hey, by the way, Twitter debuted today in 2005.
Yes, that was something. I didn't put that on there because of political reasons.
April Diaz, I better get my have a great week, all you beautiful people. I always enjoy my days when we chat. The one, the only April Diaz, ladies and gentlemen, one of our regulars here on the Tangent Podcast.
Isn't that a new photo?
It might be. It might be.
Well, Santana played at Live Aid, by the way.
Thank you, April Diaz. Have a great day today. Thank you, April Diaz. We appreciate everything you say. We all know she's a great fan, and we know the kind words she has. We always love to hear from you. Thank you, April Diaz.
And a thank you to April Diaz. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Colleen, I don't know why, but it's just saying Bruce, I guess because of Bruce Willis.
Yeah, or Bruce Springsteen did not play at Live Aid, by the way.
Yeah, I think this is probably a Bruce Willis.
Yeah, there was a documentary series that started this weekend, 4-part documentary about Live Aid. It coincided on the day of the concert, and it looks very cool and everything, but unfortunately it covered the studio part of Live Aid, which is interesting, but it was the night at the anniversary of the concert. I played a full set of Live Aid music on my FMU show.
Wow.
And would have been really pumped to see some of the concert footage.
Well, obviously this all started because you had what was Do They Know It's Christmas Time?
Right.
Okay, was the song that came out. Bob Geldof.
Yeah.
Boomtown Rats.
Mid-Euro.
Of Ultravox, got together on a talk show and decided that they needed to do something, and they put together this song. And what was interesting is that like Ethiopia happened to have like the largest Christian contingent in all of Africa, and they were like going, why are they asking us, do we know it's Christmas? We're all Christians here. We certainly know it's Christmas.
Some of the Somalian interviewees made that point on the documentary, but my thing about that was, well, that's interpretive. I don't think Do They Know It's Christmas has anything to do with Christianity. It means, do they get to celebrate like we do? Do they get like a tie? They don't. I think that's what the interpretation of the lyric was to me, anyway.
Well, it was an incredible. Vinny, I can't believe you didn't watch this concert.
Live Aid? No, I was out.
I mean, they had out. It was all during the day. I mean, it was like, it went until the late night.
I had to run some errands. I had some things.
But, I mean, I had Ashford and Simpson. That would have been someone you would have appreciated.
What year was it again?
40 years ago.
40 years ago. So
1985. It was the
85.
summer. I had just graduated from
Summer of '85. I was busy, man.
And I was ready to go to law school, and I was living in Belmar, New Jersey at the time.
Really?
Yes. And then at 3 o'clock in the morning, myself and two others in my friend's Volkswagen Bug made the trek over to JFK Stadium. Tickets were $35, for general admission. I couldn't afford the 50, which would have given me a seat, which I would have loved to have had. And that was it. And it was all day, started at 9 o'clock and ended at like 11 o'clock.
Nacho Mama loved Boomtown Rats. You guys like?
I love the Boomtown Rats too. Sure. Bob Geldorf, the Boomtown Rats. We opened for the Boomtown Rats at a venue up in Toad's Place up in New Haven, and I just was that Fine Art of Surfacing is probably one of the best albums of the 70s.
I Don't Like Mondays is one of the greatest true crime songs of all time.
Yes, we talked about that on our old show. Okay,
yeah.
The fact that is about a young girl who did a school red rum and said, when they asked why, I don't like Mondays.
And Skate Away is a beautiful song by them. That's not really, I don't think, gets the credence it deserves.
Yep, It's a Vibe was not there. She was only 5. I may have been babysitting that day. I don't know where I was.
Or being babysat. You're going to lie about your age. I was being babysat at the time, and they wouldn't let me watch.
Jane Gorham Mocker. I was on a beach listening to Live Aid.
Okay.
So if you're on a beach listening, so it would be you'd have to have like a regular radio. It was broadcast on the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was broadcast all over because they were raising money. So it was done to raise money. And then what happened was that in England, they weren't raising enough money, and Bob Geldorf got on and started screaming that you people have to start putting some money in. And then after Bowie came after Queen, by the way, and Bowie put the video up that had been showing what was going on over there in Ethiopia, and they ended up at that point jumped up like 150% on the contributions. And Bowie sacrificed one of his songs to put that video on, and that's when the things perked up. If you watch the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, they say it was Queen that did it. As much as I love Queen and I adore Queen, that it's actually Bowie that got the contributions to go up.
Interesting.
So as far as it being on live radio, I used to work for a company called IDB, which was a satellite broadcast company. What they would do is have satellite dishes and take the feeds from the Academy Awards, from the Mets game, send it back to the local affiliates. And I worked there for many years. That company was started by a guy named Jeffrey Sudikoff. And what he did was he borrowed money and he rented a satellite truck and he drove out to Live Aid because he knew that there was a need. And that's how he began his career.
Smart. By the way, folks, if you've noticed my shirt, I've got my allegedly hoodie, just part of the many items that are available at the True Crime Merch Shop.
Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. I've got something for your body. For your body. You can wear it by yourself or with Frankie Valli. It's True Crime merch from Vinny Originale. It's True Crime merch. It's True Crime merch. It's True Crime merch from Vinny Originale. From Vinny Originale. From Vinny Originale. From Vinny Originale.
The record was skipping.
Oh, that brings back old memories. But sadly, Frankie Valli was not at Live Aid, by the way.
He should have been. I want to just pay heed to all the great models that are featured in our Vinny Originale MASH here. Some of them real people, some of them AI. You make the call.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I don't see AL there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm guessing the Viva Los Tanginistas, the black hoodie, is AI.
Yes, she's AI. Or it's AI.
Well, that's
Okay. I'm quitting while I'm ahead.
Yeah, you won. No, but we have some actual listeners in here as well. So, folks, you can send in your pictures. You can send them to the Mod Squad if you're wearing any of the merch, and we'll put you into the official merch video. Thank you so much.
Yep.
For your support. We are running out of time, gentlemen.
Oh, what?
Yeah, we're running out of time. What can I say?
I
Oh, by the way, thanks
You
to the Court TV YouTube channel for simulcasting today. If you are not a subscriber to the Court TV YouTube, make sure you subscribe. You can also get a membership over there like Ira did and become a YouTube member with lots of perks over there. So make sure you do that, folks. All right. I believe I got all the supers. I want to make sure I didn't miss any supers. I think I got all the supers. I got the supers. All right. Fantastic. So, yeah, that's it. We're out of time. Al's got to talk to the judge.
Yes. Well, I got to.
Okay. Well, Jennifer says she needs a crime scene blanket. Yes. Let me show you that.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good. Let me tell you something. I had that with me in Atlanta, and that was a big one.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
I said I had that. The towel, crime scene towel, with me when I was in Atlanta. Okay, at Lake Allatoona. Okay, and everyone was commenting about that, and I was wrapping myself in it, and they loved it.
Yeah.
And I say the allegedly shirt has led to more conversations in the supermarket than I can shake a stick at, Vin.
Exactly. Like when you just dominate the beach with this or the pool, look at this thing.
As I told you, I mean, I lay there on top of it and just pretend like I'm part of the crime scene.
There you go. All right. Fantastic. All right. So where can folks find you, Al?
Well, Monday, I will be on a show that I don't think Vinny's going to be on, okay, because I think he's going to be away. And that is Closing Arguments, okay, 8 to 9 on Court TV. And I'll be in a courtroom in about an hour in Belleville, New Jersey.
Ooh, in Belleville. Okay. Jonesy, where can folks find the radio legend?
Well, you can just simply go to glennjones.net, Glenn with one N. It'll tell you all the air times, the frequency, and the very important call letters of the radio stations.
Can you give us one of those radio stations?
Oh, WFMU would be my, that's my claim to fame. That's a station out of New Jersey.
Okay.
Hasta la vista, Tanginistas.
Absolutely. So we are out of time. You can watch me every night on Court TV, 8 to 9, Closing Arguments with Vinnie Politan, 9 to 10, Vinnie Politan Investigates, 2 hours, live, true crime, only guy in the business doing it. Again, big thanks to Court TV's YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and become a member over there. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you to our amazing Mod Squad. And thank you, everyone, for the great conversation. That's it. You ever notice when you're stalling, you have to make noise? Do you do that,
Yes.
John? Yeah, I do that.
Yes, absolutely. There's certain telltale signs that I don't know what I'm going to say next.
And
Nagila Hava.
say goodnight, Jonesy.
Good night, Jonesy.
Good night, everyone. Good night. Thank you for all your support. We are the Tangent True Crime Podcast. We'll see all of you in court. Somebody say tangent. Tangent.
Somebody say 10.